Social media check-in. What do we got, Yo-Yo?
Hey, Kristenton on Instagram. Do you need to have an I-601 waiver if you're divorcing and filing the I-75?
I don't know what an I-75 is. I-751. I think she's talking about the I-751. To remove the conditions of your permanent residence. If you're no longer with your spouse, you can file an I-751 waiver based on abuse or based on a bona fide marriage that got terminated as a result of a divorce or death of your spouse. Those are the two. There's a third way to show there's like some severe humanitarian reason why you need to stay, despite the fact that you're not divorced. There was no abuse, but you can still prove it was a real marriage. Either way, you got to prove it's a real marriage. It's either it's a real marriage and there's some humanitarian reason why I need to stay. It was a real marriage and there was abuse, or it was a real marriage and I'm divorced. The easiest way is divorce because there's no discretion in divorce. You're divorced. Here is the divorce. It's very easy to prove. Humanitarian and abuse, there's discretion by an immigration officer. Well, was there abuse? Was there not abuse? Is there humanitarian reasons? Is there no humanitarian reasons? But a divorce, there's no discretion. You're divorced, you're divorced. End of story.
King Boomy on Instagram. I am a U.S. citizen. My wife is from the Caribbean. She was married to a Canadian citizen, but was a victim of infidelity and got divorced. Her case was denied. Should I be worried if I petition for her due to her previous situation?
Yes, because they may consider that the first marriage was a fraud, and then that's going to carry on to this case and the next case and bar her forever. So she still has to prove the first marriage was real and your marriage was real.
Janice Tatum on Instagram. I'm a Jamaican with a U.S. visitor visa, but it was canceled in Florida due to a long visit. They said I'm banned for 5 years. My fiance is a U.S. citizen. Can he petition for me?
Yes, but you need a waiver.
Okay, Oluwa Adeyinka on YouTube. I have a 2-year green card. My wife once punched me, and I have a video and photo evidence of that abuse. Can I divorce her?
Yes. Why would you want to get punched by your wife? Unless you guys made up and you forgive her. I mean, sometimes forgiveness, people forgive.
Okay, Mitzi McFarlane on Facebook. I applied for a J-1 visa waiver on no objection basis. The status of the waiver application on the Department of State's website reads favorable recommendation. What does this mean?
It means that the country, when you apply for the no objection letter, you first got to go to your home country to get permission that they say they don't object to you returning home. And then it goes to the State Department, who makes the final decision to rubber stamp it or not. So what it means is that your home country, wherever you're originally from, has already said they don't care whether you come or not. Now we're just waiting on the State Department.
Moya Douglas on Facebook. How long after getting documentarily qualified will you get an interview?
Documentarily qualified for what? I guess an adjustment interview based on a marriage. It's going to take over a year these days.
Ikechukwu Jeremiah on Facebook. I submitted my I-485 to a Dallas dropbox by FedEx November 5th. I still have no receipt yet or e-notification. Why the delay?
COVID, FedEx, mailroom guy. You're asking me why something didn't get delivered. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Yeah. Okay, Tui Den, Facebook. My EAD is expired and we didn't apply for the renewal. It's out of status even though I have a pending I-485. I'm still waiting for the letter for the interview. That was filed November 9th, 2019. Is this normal?
What was filed 2019? They're waiting for the adjustment interview from 2019? Generally, no, but in these days, immigration is saying 12 to 36 months for an adjustment interview. But if you're waiting over 12 months for an interview, you're in pre-litigation mandamus or mandamus territory at that point.
Candy Latoya on Facebook. I'm an unmarried daughter of a U.S. citizen. I received approval from USCIS, my case number from the Visa Center, and I'm waiting on a priority date. I'm here unlawfully, and my visa expires in 2026. Is there a way to adjust my status and get a visa interview here or get a waiver to leave back and come back?
You would need to do a provisional waiver to go home and come back at some point in the future unless you're grandfathered under 245I, which means that you or your parents, and you were under 21, you were a derivative on your parents' case, under 21, that was filed before January 14th, 1998.
Kane Lakeisha on Facebook. My wife and I have been married for 2 years and 11 months now, but we are having marital problems. My wife is refusing to sign the I-751 together, and we're still married. My conditional green card will expire February 2021. Can I file the I-751 without my wife?
If you start a divorce, I would start a divorce immediately. If she doesn't want to help you, your marriage is over. All right, because basically what she's saying is, I want you deported. So when she refuses to sign something, she's saying, I want you deported. So at that point, to me, all bets are off. You got to look out for yourself. So start a divorce, and then you can file on your own.
Jane Cerente on Facebook. Would errors on DS-260 for B1, B2 later affect someone at an immigration visa interview? Say you already have the visitor's visa and have traveled severally on it. Does the mistake still count for an immigration visa?
It depends what the mistake is. If it was material misrepresentation, yes. Otherwise, no. Material misrepresentation means there is some evidence, or you wrote something on a form that materially either led an officer to make a decision positively or negatively. So it depends on what was the error. In immigration parlance, it's misrepresentation. Whether or not it was material misrepresentation will determine whether or not you have a problem.
Sam on Instagram. I have received my prima facie. How do you say that?
Prima facie.
Is it prima facie?
Prima facie.
Prima facie. Okay, I've received my prima facie for my VAWA application. Although it reads that it's an extension for 180 days, I never received one previously. What are the benefits I can get? Where can I get all the information?
Government assistance. Any federal government assistance, not state or city or local. Federal government assistance.
Tommy Campbell on YouTube. Can I file an I-485 with the I-360 if my spouse is a green card holder but lost his citizenship because of a domestic violence incident?
Didn't lose his citizenship. Maybe he got deported. Was he a green card holder when the abuse happened, when he filed for you? Or is he in deportation now? I'm not sure what you mean. You didn't lose his citizenship, but because you don't go from citizen back to green card. But the answer is yes, you can file right now because priority dates for people married to permanent residents are legal, are current.
Matiabo on YouTube. I'm a U.S. citizen, but my husband is a green card holder. We would like to adopt his niece who has been abandoned by her dad and is neglected by her mother. What can we do?
Where's the niece? Is she here?
Doesn't say.
Okay, it sounds like the niece is an orphan, so if she's in another country, you can do an orphan petition as long as she's under 16. It would be your spouse doing it because he's the U.S. citizen. If she's here, the easiest thing to do is what's called a special immigrant juvenile, get legal guardianship, prove that it's not in the child's best interest to be reunited with the parents, and then she can adjust her status on her own. And then afterwards, after she gets a green card, if you choose to want to adopt her and be her parents, you can do that, but that would be the fastest way to get her legal status.
Saber Khan on YouTube. My mother filed an is it I-30 or I-130?
I-130.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Okay, so it's an I-130 for me. USCIS approved me after my mother died. My sister is a U.S. citizen and she is supporting me. We sent a letter to USCIS. Can I be approved by USCIS? My sister sent an affidavit and all the documents. And how long will USCIS respond to my sister? Will I be approved?
Only if you were in the United States would you be able to complete the case. Because if you're in the United States when your mom passed, you can take advantage of Section 204L. If you are outside of the United States, then you would need to do a humanitarian waiver to have your sister jump into the shoes of your deceased mom, but you would need an approved visa petition. So then your mom would have had to have passed after the visa petition was approved, and then in this particular fact pattern, she passed before. That would be the end of the case for you. So it depends where you were or are when your mom passed.
Okay, Jazz Winder on YouTube. Is somebody able to send a sponsorship, the I-134, to his friend to visit the U.S. now?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. It depends where your friend is. Some areas are proclamated out and others aren't. I just made up a new word, proclamated. I don't think proclamated is a real word, but everyone gets what I'm saying.
There you go.
Yeah.
Leonard Titus on YouTube. I had my interview and it went well, but I made a mistake with my spouse's place of birth. After the interview, I was given a white paper which states case is held for review. Is this a bad sign?
It is. It sounds like you're going to get a Stokes interview. You don't know where your wife was born, you're going to get stoked. Those are basic things you should know.
Okay, Yari Molina on YouTube. After becoming a citizen, how long will it be okay to get a divorce? My husband recently became a citizen, but I would like to divorce him. Would that affect him in any way?
No.
Okay, Julie Hinson on YouTube. We are about to file for adjustment of status. Can I attach the NVC letter and copy of approved I-129F and the letter from the U.S. Embassy for supporting evidence instead of the approved I-797 notice of action letter? My husband didn't receive the approval notice from USCIS.
Well, you have a visa in his passport. It sounds like he came on a K1. So as long as you have the visa in his passport, you can submit the K1 visa. That's all you need to submit a copy of the passport.
Millie Job on YouTube. I was 17 years old when my dad became a U.S. citizen. Am I automatically a U.S. citizen? And can I apply for a U.S. passport citizenship certificate?
He was 21?
I was 17 years old when my dad became a U.S. citizen.
I don't know how old you are. So I need to know your age because the citizenship laws changed in 2001. So I need to know more, and then I have to figure out old laws or new laws. Last question.
Heavy Boxer on YouTube. I'm waiting for my case to be approved for I-485 pending. My work permit expired last week. To renew my work permit, do I need to pay for renewing my work permit and biometric?
Now you shouldn't have to if you have a pending adjustment. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.